let's dive into some scientific notation questions. They all will require us to think about exponent rules as well. So when you look at problem 9, that's a multiplication problem. We've got two parentheses right next to each other, so that's a multiplication problem. In a multiplication problem, you multiply your regular numbers together, you get 28, and you add exponents. 3 plus -9 is -6. Now it wants our answer in scientific notation, and you'll note it's not quite there yet because my decimal point's right there. Technically my number needs to be between 1 and 10, so I gotta move this one spot and make it 2.8. I adjusted and made the number smaller, so I gotta adjust to make my exponent bigger, add 1 to it. 2.8 times 10 to the -5th. Number 10, you look at it, what kind of problem is it? It's a division problem. So I'm going to divide 24 and 6 and get 4. In a division problem, I think about what the exponent rule is. Exponent rule is subtract the exponents. 5 minus 9, top minus bottom. So 5 minus 9 is -4. So I got 4 times 10 to the -4th. In scientific notation, I don't have to worry about flipping exponents, so I'm going to leave it just as is right here. Number 11, another multiplication problem. You try it on your own, and then hit pause, see if you get the same thing I do. Multiplication problem. So I multiply my numbers. 63 times 10 to the, in a exponent problem, I add my exponents and get -14. Now you look at your answers and, well, none of them are there. Because you got to think about answer in scientific notation. I got to move this to make it 6.3. I made my number smaller, 63 to 6.3. I got to adjust my exponent and add 1 to it. 6.3 times 10 to the -13. Your answer is A. The rectangle problems, 12 and 13. Area of a rectangle is length times width. Give you that reminder right there. So, length times width. You're going to multiply this times this. In a multiplication problem, it's just multiplication because they're right next to each other. Let's think about what we do with the exponents. The rule says add exponents in this situation. So s to the 9th and t squared. I got to remember there is basically a 1 there. T to the 3rd is your area. And 13. Hit pause, see if you can do it. Get it? Multiplication. And when I multiply your numbers. And rule says add exponents. 45x to the 12th. Let's finish up 14 and 15. Now in 14, I think there is an easy way and a hard way to go here. I think it's harder if you plug in the numbers right away and then take care of flipping exponents. You just, I don't know, it becomes a lot of negative numbers, and a lot of people just kind of vomit on themselves when they start. No offense. what I like to do first is flip negative exponents. So x to the negative third we know is going to flip. Y to the negative 2 we know is going to flip. So really the 3 stayed put. The x to the third is now in the bottom, and y squared is now in bottom. Now I think it's a lot easier to find the value by plugging in these two values. So instead of x, I'm going to write 3. I'm going to use parentheses here. And instead of y, I'm going to write -1 in parentheses, very important, and I still have my 3 on top. So from there, I just got to think about, what is 3 to the third? 27. What is -1 squared? That's -1 times -1. That's +1. So really, you have 3 over 27. And to be fully simplified, 1 over 9 is the simplified fraction. But again, flip your exponents first and take care of that, then plug in your numbers in parentheses. 15. Astronomers measure large distances in light years. 1 light year is the distance that light can travel in 1 year. Approximately 5.88 times 10 to the 12th miles. Suppose a star is 9.8 times 10 to the 1 light years from Earth. In scientific notation, approximately how many miles is it? Something that I sometimes do with word problems is, instead of writing or saying a complex number, I'll just say a easier number, and then kind of gives me a clue on what to do next. So if I told you, yeah, light year is a distance, that's 5.88 miles, and the star is 9.8 light years away. To me, that makes it seem easier to understand that I need to multiply this number times this number. It's like, this is how much a light year is. This is how many actual light years away from Earth it is. So to figure that out, I'm going to multiply. You can refer back to the video on 9 through 11. But in a multiplication problem, multiply these two things together. When you do 5.88 times 9.8, you get 57.624 times 10 to the, add your exponents, 10 to the 13th. Well, that doesn't really match any of my answers, but if I put it in scientific notation and go 5.76, and it looks like my answers aren't going past the 100th position, so I won't either. 5.76 times 10 to the 14th, I have to adjust the exponent because I adjusted my number. Has to be that, has to be that.